I never thought the day would come when I'd watch the woman I once swore to protect walk out of our home with nothing but a suitcase and a look of pure hatred. But when you discover the person you loved most has been lying to you behind your back, stealing more than just your trust, you realize some endings are not tragedies. They're escapes. My name is Aaron, 41 years old, small business owner, and until a few months ago, I believed I had the perfect marriage. Emily and I had been together for 13 years. She was charming, beautiful in a soft kind of way, and the type of woman who could convince anyone she was an angel sent to earth. Her smile disarmed people. Her words soothed them. And her lies destroyed me, slowly, silently. The story doesn't start with her cheating. It starts with me working 60-hour weeks, taking every job I could to build a stable life for us. I ran a construction and remodeling company I'd built from nothing. Sweat, risks, loans, 1,000 nights working late. I was proud of what I'd accomplished. And Emily always said she was proud too. At least, that's what I thought. The first red flag came when she started talking about joint accounts and better financial integration. Now, I wasn't stingy. I paid the bills, filled the fridge, covered the vacations. But something in the way she pushed, insisted, felt off. It wasn't the first time she brought it up. It was the 8th, maybe 9th. She used guilt, tears, and emotional pressure. "Don't you trust me, Aaron?" She'd whisper, eyes shining like I'd wounded her. I trusted her more than anyone. But something in my gut told me to protect the business. So I listened to that instinct. I talked to a lawyer friend. I added protections, separated assets, changed business ownership structures. Not out of suspicion, but out of survival instincts I didn't yet understand. Weeks later, Emily grew distant. More makeup. Later nights. A sudden obsession with going to the gym. Then, new friends. Then work events that never existed before. I wasn't stupid. I sensed something shifting, but love makes you blind to what's right in front of you. The truth hit me like a wrecking ball on a Wednesday night. She came home smelling like cologne, not mine. Her hair messy. Her dress wrinkled. I asked where she'd been. She flinched, then delivered the most rehearsed lie I'd ever heard. A late meeting. I didn't confront her. Not then. I needed clarity, not chaos. So I started paying attention. I checked our shared phone log. New number. Frequent calls. Late night texting. Suddenly, she had a password on her phone, a major red flag because she used to joke that we had no secrets. 2 days later, I checked her car's GPS memory. She hadn't been anywhere near her office. My stomach twisted, but my head went cold. I was done pretending. I hired a private investigator, something I never thought I'd do in my life. It felt like betrayal, but it wasn't me betraying anything. It was me pulling the curtain back. 3 days later, the investigator handed me photos and videos. My wife. Kissing a man half embracing her outside an upscale restaurant. Holding hands in his luxury car. Entering a hotel. Leaving the next morning. The man she cheated with wasn't even special. Just some sales manager at her office. Average guy. Average career. But apparently, he made her feel excited. When I saw the footage, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt drained, like someone had siphoned the life out of me. But the worst was yet to come. The private investigator uncovered messages between her and her affair partner. She wasn't just cheating. She was planning to divorce me after convincing me to combine assets, so she could take what she deserved. She called me boring, predictable, safe. She complained that she should have married someone with more money. She said once she had a claim on my business, she'd be set. She wrote that she was done with Aaron emotionally already. That broke me more than the cheating. Not because she didn't love me, but because she'd been planning to betray me financially long before she betrayed me physically. I knew what I had to do. The next Saturday morning, she woke up to breakfast on the table. I kept things normal, calm. I even kissed her forehead. She acted guilty, overly affectionate, nervous. But I didn't give her the satisfaction of knowing I knew. By Monday, the paperwork was ready. Lawyer prepared. Locks changed. Camera system updated. All assets secured. Then came the confrontation. She walked in the door at 8:47 p.m. I remember the time exactly. Nose in the air, acting like she'd had a rough day. But her lipstick was smudged. Her blouse buttoned wrong. She smelled like men's deodorant. I waited until she set down her bag. Then I placed the printed photos on the table. Her face drained of color instantly. What's this? She whispered, eyes wide. A wake-up call, I replied. She tried to deny it, then blame me, then cry, then beg. I watched every phase like I was observing a stranger perform on a stage. When she finally stopped talking, I told her calmly. You tried to ruin me financially. You tried to manipulate me. You tried to replace me. And you failed because I protected myself. Her tears turned to rage. She screamed that she deserved half. That she gave me the best years of her life. That she sacrificed. I slid a folder across the table. It was the separation agreement. Fair, legal, and absolute. You get nothing, I said quietly. And you're leaving tonight. She looked like I'd stabbed her. You can't do this. I have nowhere to go. You had somewhere to go earlier, I said. Take your suitcase. She cried, cursed, threatened. But in the end, she walked out the door dragging a single suitcase, everything she came with 13 years ago. The house felt painfully silent afterward. Empty. But also lighter. The next few weeks were rough. Betrayal burns in waves. I didn't sleep. Didn't eat well. I questioned every moment of the last decade. But eventually, slowly, I began to heal. I threw myself into work. Spent more time with friends. Reconnected with my brother, whom I'd neglected due to my marriage. I went hiking. I traveled. I regained myself inch by inch. Emily tried calling multiple times, leaving voicemails full of apologies. She emailed paragraphs about how she made a mistake and wanted another chance. She even tried showing up at my office once. But by then, the love I had for her had transformed into something else, clarity. She didn't want me. She wanted my stability, my security, my assets. And for the first time in years, I felt strong enough to let go. Months later, I stood in my newly remodeled home, the one I worked hard to own, and realized the most important truth of this entire ordeal. Protecting my assets wasn't selfish. It was survival. And kicking her out wasn't revenge. It was closure. Today, I'm happier, healthier, and more at peace than I ever was during the last years of my marriage. I learned that love without loyalty is just a trap. And trust without wisdom is just blindness. If you take anything away from my story, let it be this. Pay attention to the signs. Protect yourself. And don't be afraid to walk away from someone who treats you like a backup plan. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is save yourself.